Oh, how I love Jesus. So, I had some fun today. Mark Driscoll was back on. I think he had like 50 people in his chat. I don't remember what he was talking about, but what I always love about Mark Driscoll is he used to, back when he was really big with that, what's his name? Rob Bell, before Rob Bell wrote that book about love wins, which is actually coming true. He just didn't talk about the 7 Dead Seas part. But the other part, he was right. Love does win, and we get the kingdom. Mark Driscoll, though, he used to preach about how when you're married, orally, you can kind of go for it, and God likes it. And it's all good. I mean, it's not my business, but it was kind of like his shock jock stuff. And a lot of people really loved it, like, you got to really eat her out sometimes. It's, it was really wild. I don't know, man. It's to each his own, right? Honey, a BJ. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I don't really think that's church usually, but hey, whatever, But so I came on the chat and I'm like, hey, man, still talking about eating out like you used to? Eat her out, I mean, what's going on, man? Because now that most of the pastors are hirelings, it's like the biggest porn biz in town. That might be the real whore of Babylon, because they're all paid by the minute, and that's what the meaning of prostitution is, right? So girls gone wild is really nothing. And so what were you preaching about? That oral stuff about how married couples can... God likes it. I mean, if you husband and wife want to do it, it's all good or whatever. Hey, man, I'm not trying to dig, but it's kind of weird to do like the Howard Stern routine where full on shock jock stuff at church. Kind of wild. And so tried it on his chat. Oh, the chat like grew, but nobody talked all of a sudden. And they let me, I dropped a few more seeds after that, but it was pretty funny because I was like, how does that work? So if you're a hireling, you're a prostitute. So hirelings don't know the good shepherd, nor do they hear his voice. And they're going to run away and look for those rocks because they don't want to see the 7 deadly seas. So where are you here? Because you're not looking for a king, right? And if Rob Bell was right, what the heck, But they shut me out before I get too far. I don't think I got into Rob Bell being right. But it was quite a fun show because it's kind of funny how he was such a shock jock then, but now all of a sudden he's got 50 people and he doesn't want to talk too dirty anymore. What happened to your shock jock routine, dude? Don't you want to go talk about how, come on, husbands, sometimes you just got to show her that love and eat her like you really love her. I mean, it's all good, bro. I'm not saying I've never been there, so it's just kind of weird to talk about it in church, so it would be kind of fun to hear more about why you were preaching that then, and now it's like, no, we don't talk about that. Are you a Nicolaitan? Is that what it is? Is that why you don't like to talk about a kingdom? You like to talk about like kind of Star Trek faith? Do tell why you split up with Rob Bell. Was that before that started, that oral stuff you started talking about at church? When he was talking about a kingdom and like earning gold rule stuff? That might have something to do with that, Rob. Bell might have been right, and love does win, and you're preaching hate with the Dividers and Chiefs team? Is that what it is? Because, wow, I heard those shock jock messages. I think you were really huge then. You were like blowing up. Was that still when Mars Hill was big, or was that after you broke up? I don't remember all these things, some of these church games. And you are a 501c3, so you're part of that government thing anyways, okay? You're an official hireling, government agent. It's all good. Chaka bra! Here comes the king. Hope that goes good for you, because you never want to talk about him. And wow, you can only play denial so long, man. It's not an Egypt river. But maybe if you're with that whore and you've been practicing that well, I don't want to get too dirty. This is YouTube. But hey, You were preaching it, so what the heck? I would think this would get through, right? Shaka, brah. I hope your faith keeps you good because, wow, those sheep you're leading seem to be headed blindly with you into a ditch.